Hey guys, this is Corey.
And Austin. This is homework 4. So for the first thing in homework 4, we had to look at some economics. So we're going to find the future value given a present value. So this is the formula for it. So then we model this over here in Matlab. So then we can run it and we can get our answer right here. So now we want to look at future, or find the present worth given a future worth. So we can comment this out. We'll just comment that out and then we'll get rid of this one here.
Yeah, now we can find the present worth. There you go.
Alright, so now that we run this,
Oh,
we can find the present worth, and this results the present worth right there.
Let's see what the next one. Future value.
So then, find the future value, we'll comment that out.
Let's see here.
And this is the future value given an annual amount. So I'll just have to uncomment that. And now if we run this, this will give us our future worth right here. So this is just if you're looking for, you're given this much annually and how much you're going to have after 10 years at a 12% interest rate.
One more. Let's see.
And this one is to find the annual amount given a future value. So we'll just have to comment out the annual amount and put the future value back in.
And we'll run that. Oh no.
So now we have an error. So now we have to troubleshoot and figure out what we did wrong. So the error we found was just because it didn't like how we typed it, so we just retyped it, and when we run it, it gives us our answer right there. So that's finding the annual amount given a future value.
Well, Matlab is all cool. You can also do this stuff in Postgres. So I created some tables and I wrote out the code that's necessary. So we're going to find the present worth given the annual amount. Let's see. So we'll take this code here, copy it in here, Command V. Now, this is for the SQL. Down here in our table, we can say that we want to find the present worth of a car given $10,000 at 20 and 8%. And when you come up here to your SQL and you run it, it'll find you your present worth. Now, there's a couple other ones here. Find the annual amount given the present worth. And once you have all of your codes written out, you can just copy them off your scratch pad. Come over here to your SQL and paste them in here. Then make sure you have your numbers that you want in your table. So we're finding the annual given the present. So let's see, we're finding present value of a car $100, making 2 payments. When you come up here and run it, it'll tell you your answer, $1,000. I think there was one more we had. Find the annual amount given the gradient. So come over here to our scratch pad, copy the code in, paste it in the editor, and then run over to your table, and right here you're going to find the gradient for a car, and make sure you have your correct columns and your correct data entered. Then when you run your code, it'll return back your answer, 372.
So now we can look at question 8, and it talks about what the difference between a permutation and a combination is. And a permutation, you would use it when the order doesn't matter, and you'd use a combination when the order does matter.
Now, in dealing with manufacturing, permutations are important because you're counting your products, your IDs, and it's specific for each one that's counted. You don't want to have multiple product IDs if they were like combinations and the different arrangements of the numbers, it would count the different products as having one product instead of two separate products. And also, when you're assigning parts to be attached to another parts, like an assembly line, you'll want to have a part with an ID be attached to a specific, the next part in the line. And if it was like a combination and the IDs could be like 1, 2, 3 and 3, 2, 1, and it counted as the same, then you would get your parts mixed up when you go to attach them. Now, when you're using combinations in a manufacturing setting, it's not really useful when you need to count the products like to be acquired. If you're counting a specific number of products by using the ID, if it's going to see a product as 1, 2, 3 and it's going to see a product as 1, 3, 2, it's going to count that as one product and not as two different products. Also, when you're taking a sample of a product to determine the quality, and you pull out a sample product and it has an ID of like 3, 4, 5, and then when you pull out another sample product and if it had an ID of 3, 5, 4, then it would recognize those and consider them to be the same ID, and so you pulled the same part to look at the quality when you actually pulled two different parts. So that's all we have for you for this homework. Stay tuned and check out our next stuff.